Alright, so today we're going to learn greatest common factor. This is Excel 6th grade edition, lesson 56. Greatest common factor and least common factor. So here's an example. We have to use here, let's see, 8 and 12. What is the greatest common factor of 8 and 12? So the factors of 8, remember how we find the factors? We're going to make like a curtain. It's going to close in. We start with the smallest factor and the largest factor. So 1 times 8 is equal to 8. Another factor starting down at the lower end right here. 2 times what is 8? 2 times 4 is 8. The only number between 2 and 4 is 3. 3 does not go into 8. So those are all the factors of 8. 1, 2, 4, and 8. Here are the factors of 12. Again, we always start with 1 and the number itself. And then we come down here to the lower end. Does 2 go into 12? Yes, it does. So 2 times 6 is 12. And then how about 3? Does 3 go into 12? Yes, 3 times 4 is 12. And there's no numbers between 3 and 4. So we know we've completed all the factors of 12. So now what we're going to do is look for the greatest factor that's in both lists, that's common to both of these lists. So the biggest number that I see in both lists is the number 4. So the greatest common factor for 8 and 12 is 4. What's the greatest common factor, next example of 6 and 12? And let's see, let's go to a new page. Where is that over here? Okay. Greatest common factor of 6 and 12. So we find the factors of 6, factors of 12. Factors of 6, again, we start with 1 in the number, 1 and 6, 2 and 3. There is no number between 2 and 3, so those are all the factors of 6. We just did the factors of 12. Alright, and then the greatest number that can be found in both lists, of course, would be 6. So the greatest common factor of 6 and 12 is 6. What is the least common factor of 6 and 12? Well, that would be the smallest number in both lists, and you can see that would be 1. And 1 is pretty much going to be the least common factor for any number, and we're not really going to deal with that a whole lot. Number 1 on the sample problems asks you to find the greatest common factor of 6 and 8. They show you that the factors of 6 are equal to 1, 6, 2, and 3. The factors of 8 are 1, 8, 2, and 4. What's the greatest common factors of these? 2. And then that's why they filled in the number 2 right there. Go ahead and try number 2 on your own. Pause the video while you're trying that problem. Okay, 8, 18. You should have done the problem like this. 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Those are all the factors of 8. Factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. So the greatest common factor of these, again, is the number 2. So you should have written 2. For number 3, let me grab the textbook. It's not filled in. Okay. The problem that we want to do for number 3 is 12 and 9. 12 and 9. So go ahead and try that on your own for number 3. Pause the video, and then you can start it up again as soon as you've got the answer. So what you should have done for that, factors of 9 are 1 and 9, and then 3. We don't write the number 3 twice because we're just making a list of numbers that you can divide 9 by. And there's no reason to say that we can divide 9 by 3 and then say that we can divide 9 by 3 again. The factors of 12, we've already done that one. All you had to do is really copy the factors from up above. And then the largest number that's in both lists, or the greatest common factor, is 3. All right, number 4. Number 4 of the problem is going to be 9 and 3. So go ahead and pause the video while you do that one, and then you can turn it back on to see if you did it right. The factors of 9, we just did 1 and 9, and then the number 3. And the factors of 3 are just 1 and 3. So the greatest common factor would be 3. Okay, now go ahead and try the box down at the bottom that has a check answer of 14, box number 1. Add up the check answer. Make sure you show your work and pause the video. As soon as you're done, you can turn it back on. All right, so this is what you should have done. You have 8 and 16. 8 and 16. You should have found the factors of 8, which are 1 and 8, and 2 and 4. And the factors of 16 are 1 and 16, 2 and 8, and then just the number 4. You don't need to write the number 4 twice. And the biggest number in both lists is the number 8. So that's what you should have filled in for the first problem. Factors of 4 and 10. Factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4, of course. Factors of 10 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. And the greatest number in both lists would be 2. All right, and then the factors of 12 and 16. Factors of 12, we have that above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Make sure you keep those numbers in order. Makes it a lot easier to find the greatest common factor. 16, we just did that right here. And so 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. The greatest number in both lists looks like it's going to be 4. And then when you add up your check answer, you're going to add 8, 2, and 4 together, which of course comes out to be 14. So there you have it, the greatest common factor, lesson 56 in Excel.